EA Sports, in partnership with the United States Golf Association, so proud to spotlight golf's best amateur talent from around the globe. Today, we bring you coverage from this opening round. We've got a full field ready to get rolling on this Thursday as we get a look at the early leaderboard. A lot of folks fighting for the title, including our leader. The first hole here at Bandon Dunes, just 398 yards to get the day started. It's a bit of a dogleg right, so an aggressive tee shot might have to carry a building a la the 17th at St. Andrews. From the fairway, it should be a simple look in, but beware the series of pothole bunkers along the way, including one just left of the green. Oh, this is tugged way left. And not the way you want to start your morning. That is going to be trouble right out of the starting gate. So this is a good time now to bring in Nota Begay III. Had an outstanding amateur career, played at Stanford with none other than Tiger Woods, 4 times a winner on the PGA Tour. So Nota, you know what it's all about, what it's like to have these dreams as a high-level amateur. Where are they at this point?
Well, the nerves are up. Huge excitement about what's to come. As an amateur, it's so hard to stay focused on the task at hand, but that is going to be key in order to ensure a good performance today.
Now, that's not a bad shot. And the reason why I say that, you see the lie, thick, heavy rough, just to forge that one out and get it on the green. Good going.
Yep, not bad. Had to put a little extra into that one, but got it there. That's a pretty good effort. Safely in. It's a par here at the first, and he'll stay at even par. The second hole, a par 3 measuring 220 yards. In theory, it's a straightforward, though long, par 3. 2 bunkers left and short shouldn't be in play, but the hole does play deceivingly uphill, so a solid strike is a must. That one safely on the putting surface. A birdie try on the second green, and with that, we welcome 4-time winner on the PGA Tour, Nota Begay.
Really not a whole lot to this. He's going to get a little help from the slope. Other than that, just slightly to the right.
Just gonna sneak on by. That finished off for par here the second, and he'll stay at level par. We head to the third now, our first par 5 at 563 yards. Bunkers appear to be scattered on either side of the fairway, so accuracy is a must. This green is definitely reachable in two, but it does run nearly 50 yards from front to back, so if your approach isn't on target, you could be left with a putt of better than 100 feet. Oh, that was a beautiful golf swing right there. Everything working in harmony and a great result in the fairway. Now, after the big drive, this a good distance here for a second to the par 5. But that one had to feel good.
Yeah, struck it so well. You could see that by the reaction of that ball when it hit the green. Landed so softly.
Had a pretty good run at it. That would have been a nice eagle, but couldn't quite find the line. Yeah, no sweat. It is a birdie here at the third. And he'll get into red figures at 1 under, just 2 shots back. Up next, we come to the par 4 fourth hole, which measures out at 443 yards. Beware that the rough is thick if you miss here, but a well-placed drive rewards you with our first real look at the Pacific, as you'll see that big expanse of blue and start to hear the crashing waves below.
That got a fortunate bounce. That'll be just fine.
A little under 90 yards left here for his second.
Good approach shot. And birdie putt coming up. Approach shot just a little right, little short.
Now this nota for birdie.
And I don't think he'll want to deviate from a straight-in read, just a little uphill.
Ooh, good speed there. That'll leave just a couple of feet. Okay, that one finished off. It's a par here at 4, and he'll remain in red figures at 1 under. On now to the number 1 handicap hole on the course. That is the 445-yard par 4 fifth. This one plays right along the bluffs of the Pacific. Keeping it straight here is the big key because trouble lurks on either side if your tee shot or your approach are wayward. I'll tell you what, that swing absolutely perfect and a good result as well. Good chance to get one in close from here. This, his second. Maybe not what you're hoping for from that number, but no damage. It's on the green. Got it there, but not quite on target. That one finished off. It is a par here at 5, and he'll remain at 1 under par. We continue our turn northward along the bluffs as we come to the par 3 sixth. It's another stout one at 217 yards. Most golfers will be happy to play toward the right center part of this large green and stay away from the trouble, including the cliff on the left. Solid shot, and sometimes solid throughout the round, will win the day. You betcha. What a roll there. That is in for a birdie. And he'll move to 2 under par, one back of our leader. We make our turn away from the ocean now and head to the par 4 7th. At 411 yards, it offers a nice wide fairway to sort of bomb away into. That will likely leave an uphill approach for the second to a green that is one of the more difficult on the course. That is poetry in motion right there. What a golf swing, and a big drive as well. So from a little more than 70 yards, this is second. Okay, that's acceptable there. This is an 11-foot putt. Oh man, the speed was spot on. A good putt, but nothing to show for it. That one finished off. It'll be a par here at 7, and he'll stay at 2 under. The 8th hole here at Bandon takes us back toward the ocean. It's a par 4 at 385 yards, so it's not a long one. If you can successfully navigate or bomb it over those 2 fairway bunkers, you could leave yourself with not much more than 50 yards or so for your approach. Oh my goodness, that is on in 1. Wow, what an incredible shot. That would have been a good one to convert on. Instead, that'll be left for birdie. Okay, nicely done. It's a birdie at number 8. Well, whereas the 8th was a short par 4, nothing short about our closing hole here on this front side. The par 5 9th topping out at 585 yards, the longest hole on the course. That said, birdie is certainly not out of the equation. That is, if you can avoid the pot bunkers in the landing area off the tee. That is so well done, just generating so much torque through the swing, high launch angle. That was just about perfect. Really hit that second shot on the button to this par 5, but Frank couldn't get it to stop.
Yeah, too good, too long, sadly.
He has a 12-footer here. Oh, never in doubt. What a great putt that is. It's a birdie here at the 9th. And he's going to go out in 32, 4 under par. We begin the back 9 here at Bandon Dunes with a par 4 measuring out at 380 yards. It's yet another hole where that blue ocean catches your eye in the distance beyond. This hole, fairly straightforward, but big hitters should take note of that pot bunker that sits about 30 yards short of the green. A little too much roll on the back end there, and this is going to wind up diving into the heavy stuff.
And for a short little shot, the heavy rough certainly makes things more difficult because the rough gets between the club face and the ball. But not bad, all things considered.
Yes, rolls it right in. A birdie here at 10. And that's going to stretch the lead to 2 shots. The 11th here at Bandon Dunes at 452 yards, a par 4. The putt bunker left of the fairway is the main concern on the tee shot. From there, an uphill second takes you to a green that slopes away and back toward the ocean beyond. And that, a well-placed bunker. It'll collect plenty of shots just like that one as this indeed rolls into the sand.
After the tee shot finds that beautifully positioned bunker. I know the bunker shot didn't quite get on the green, but you can still make a very solid par.
Just didn't get all of that one. Sometimes even on a short shot, Frank, you can miss the middle of the club face.
Remember that old adage, Kiss, keep it simple. I'll leave the word off on the end. Just knock it close, make a par. That's all you got to do.
Nope. Safely in. It's a bogey here at number 11. And with it, the lead is back down to 1. On to the par 3 12th hole. This is the number 18 handicap hole, so maybe that gives you a little reason for optimism. But par is not a bad score here as this measures out at 238 yards, the longest of the 4 par 3s. And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either, sitting up in the short grass. Ten-foot putt left. Ooh, that's got a little bit more movement than you think, and that'll slide on by. So, a tough hole. It's in for bogey at 12. And he's going to slide backwards to 3 under par. We come now to the 13th, a 553-yard par 5. This hole reachable in 2. You may need to get lucky, though, on your drive, as rolling dunes could leave you with an uphill flyer lie or a tough downhill shot to contend with. Maybe some frustrations taken out there after that last hole. That was a big swing, and it is going to be a big result. Now from a little less than 200 yards, this a second to the par 5. Got every bit of that, threw it all the way there, and got it to stop. Home in 2 on the par 5. Oh yeah, that's how you take advantage of a par 5. It's in for an eagle 3. Superb. On to a tough one now, the par 4 14th, listed at 390 yards. Pot bunkers are the worry here. There are 5 of them to contend with all told, and none are easy outs. The green is a narrow one as well, with a good amount of tilt from back to front. No laying up with that swing. This is all or nothing. Ooh, and that is going to wind up missing the target by a good margin. And that will be no bargain in there. Boy, it's been a terrific day so far. Noda, you've been impressed.
I really have. They've really handled the golf course well. They've handled the nerves, and under the pressure, they've really managed to point to the right things that are making this thing turn into a very nice day.
Chance now for another birdie.
Well, and he's had great conversion on putts like this. Even when he's not close to the hole, he's left himself with very makeable opportunities.
That's going to scoot a foot or two by. No issues there. It is a par here at 14. And the lead's going to remain 2. 4 holes to go as we come to the par 3 15th, measuring at 206 yards. Best to avoid the short right bunker, which is the deepest on the golf course. Putting one in the center of this plateaued green is not a bad play here. A very sensible play there, right in the middle of the green. A long one coming up here for birdie. That one just going to sneak on by. Okay, a solid par here at the 15th, and he's going to stay 2 clear of the field. Maybe the prettiest hole on the golf course, this par 4 16th. A plethora of options off the tee. Most end up deciding to see just how close to the green they can get it. Beware, though, of the ever-present bend and dunes pot bunkers, as well as some pretty thick gorse off to the right. Oh, and that just did not want to settle. It'll wind up rolling off the fairway and into the heavy stuff. Now this for another birdie.
And this is pretty flat all the way. I don't think there's much in it at all.
Good job to deaden it right by the hole, but he could not get it to go in. Okay, that'll be a par here at 16, and he'll stay at 5 under. Feast or famine here on this par 4 17th at 405 yards. There are no good misses off the tee. Left has pot bunkers and thick gorse. Right with a long bunker and the side of a canyon to contend with. Best to just put one right down the middle, but that's easy for me to say. And I don't think that ball is going to wind up being playable. That area is considered out of bounds. And that ball definitely slowed up a bit. It'll wind up coming down in the heavy rough. And that ball couldn't quite get through unscathed. It's going to be knocked down by the leaves and wind up in the heavy stuff. Well, at least he hit one good shot on this hole, right, Frank?
Yeah, it looks like he was chopping wood all day long, but we'll have a little bit to show for it.
All right, that's in for a double bogey 6. And that's going to drop him down the leaderboard just a bit. So now it's on to the 18th here at Bandon Dunes. The fog's starting to thicken up a bit as we reach this 558-yard par 5. The big key is avoiding the bunkers off the tee. Do that, and you'll have a good chance to get out of here with a birdie or maybe even an eagle. That might have been okay if it stayed in that thinner rough, but I think this popped into that deeper area. Well, that's really a good job right there to advance that ball down the fairway. That came out pretty clean, Frank.
Yeah, clean as a whistle, and now actually in great shape in this par 5.
Okay, on the green, but it's going to leave a putt that will get your attention. Got it there, but not quite on target. Okay, so that will wind up a par at the last. So all things considered, today a pretty good barometer of what's to come in the rest of this amateur tournament.
And Rich, as we know, amateur golf's a little more volatile, so much easier to catch up, a several shot difference.
Till next time, for our entire cast and crew, I'm Rich Lerner. This has been a presentation of EA Sports PGA Tour Golf. So long, everybody. EA Sports, in partnership with the United States Golf Association, so proud to spotlight golf's best amateur talent from around the globe. Today, we bring you coverage of the second round. Things starting to slowly take shape here on this Friday. For some, it is a race for the top prize. For others, it's a fight to stick around for the weekend as we show you the leaderboard. A number of folks in contention, including our leader. And not the way you want to start your morning. That is going to be trouble right out of the starting gate. Okay, so good work there to get this back out into the short grass.
And really, this is not a bad spot to be, just a little short of the green. Certainly not out of the question to get away with a par.
Yep, played that nicely. That'll work out just fine. Well done. That is in for a par here at the first. And he'll stay a couple of shots off the lead. On now to the second here at Bandon Dunes, a long par 3 coming in at 220 yards, and it is every bit of those 220 as well, as it can play up to 30 feet uphill depending on the tee box. Fortunately, shots that run long do have a tendency to funnel back down. Okay, maybe not ideal, but pin high to the left and a decent look for birdie coming up. Ooh, good speed there. That'll leave just a couple of feet. That finished off for par here at the second. And he's going to stay 2 back. On to our first par 5 of the round, the 563-yard third hole. Bunkers dot the fairway on each side, and they're penal. But if you can avoid those, you'll find a wide, receptive green that will yield its share of 3s and 4s. Oh, that is right, and that could be trouble. That is straight into the thick stuff. Frank, you surprised that one came out as well as it did?
Certainly, Rich. This hole at one stage looked very problematic, but now, back in the fairway, you never know.
A 6-footer now for birdie. Okay, nicely done. That's in for birdie here at 3. And following the opening 69, he'll get it to 1 under for his round here. Next up, we reach the par 4 fourth, measuring out at 443 yards. The bunker left of the fairway complicates things a bit, and it is easy to run a tee shot right through the fairway. But if you do wind up in the short grass, the approach shot is one of the most panoramic in golf. And this is going to wind up just fine. That, the first fairway he's hit so far. It is on the short stuff here at the 4th. So from a little more than 70 yards, this is second. Okay, not too bad there. A great opportunity here for birdie. Oh, a good run going here early. This is birdies at 3 and 4. And he moves to 2 under for his round and -5 overall. We turn northward along the beach here at the 445-yard par 4 fifth. Like the previous hole, the landing area is a narrow one, and it doesn't get much easier from there. The green's protected by a big bunker on the right, and be careful because those onshore breezes like to push the ball that way. And now our co-leader with problems here off the tee. That ball going to settle down into the thick stuff.
All in all, that's a good shot. Anytime you hit it in the rough's always a little bit of a lottery. Could have even jumped out a little more and perhaps gone even closer.
Nope.
Well, like the old saying goes, never up, never in, and that definitely applies here.
Okay, that one finished off for a par. And he'll remain right where he is. The second par 3 of this front side, another long one, this 6th hole measuring out at 217 yards. That voice in your head will be telling you, don't go left, because if you do, you'll be down the cliff and onto the beach here by 5 Mile Point. Yeah, not quite enough on that one. It's going to take this slope and come back off the front of the green. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Nicely read there. It is a par here at the 6th, and he'll remain one shot back. We head away from the coast now due east as we come to the par 4 7th. A big, wide fairway should make the tee shot manageable, but from there, this 3-tiered clover-shaped green provides a lot of opportunities for 3 putts if that approach wedge is not dialed in. I'll tell you what, that swing absolutely perfect and a good result as well. So from a little more than 70 yards, this is second. Okay, that's acceptable there. Oh, the pace was spot on. That ball somehow just decided not to go down. That one finished off. It's in for par, and he's going to remain one shot off the pace. The 8th hole is a par 4 at 385 yards. This one, similar in a lot of ways to the 3rd hole. The bigger hitters can easily clear those 2 fairway bunkers and, in theory, leave just a little pitch on for their 2nd. Oh, this is going to be way down there. Well, they claim it's a reachable par 4. We haven't seen a whole lot of people do it today. We just saw it right there. Well done. Why you try to drive this green to potentially give yourself putts like that, and he gets it to go down for an eagle too. On now to the finishing hole here on Bandon Dunes' front side, the par 5 9th. It's the longest on the course, measuring out at 585 yards. You'll find a handful of pot bunkers in the inopportune spots along the way, but if you can navigate your way around them, you just might wind up with a birdie putt. that one not quite able to hang on. It's into the bunker. Oh, yeah, home and 2 on this par 5. Okay, playing back-to-back pars. I get it. Back-to-back birdies. Nice going. Back-to-back eagles. Come on.
It's just like slamming the car into drive and just say, go!
He gave that a pretty good run. Little short, but that's not bad. Coming off the eagle, this for birdie. Not much more than a tap in there. It is a birdie at the 9th, and that will be a 31 on the front side, 5 under par. The backside begins here with the par 4 10th hole at 380 yards. The big hitters will feel like they can get it down there pretty close. An approach from the right side might be a bit shorter, but you'll get a better angle if you come at it from the left. Be able to cover this. And now problems there for our leader. That ball into the very thick stuff here off the tee. Frank, it's obvious he caught a flyer right there. Explain what that means.
Well, you have loft, right? The ball's going to take off on the loft. They put grooves on the golf club so you can have nice contact. If those grooves fill up with a little bit of grass, then you have no grooves, then you have nothing really to put the extra spin on the golf ball. So that is a flyer.
With all the elements of his game have been in sync today, a terrific shot right there.
It's all about getting it inside that 3-foot circle around the hole. That was a really nice shot.
So that's in for par to start this backside. And he's going to remain at 8 under. On to the 11th now, a par 4 at 452 yards. Best to keep it down the middle or to the right off the tee. That leads to an uphill second where you'll most likely have to take it right over that bunker that guards the front right portion of the green. Oh, that was a beautiful golf swing right there. Everything working in harmony and a great result in the fairway. Second shot, good look at the green.
That's a decent-sized green. It's not bad, just a little past the hole.
Chance now for another birdie. Oh, no problems at all. The pace perfect. It is in for birdie. And that is going to push him into the lead here on this Friday. And they make their par threes long here at Bandon Dunes. This one, the 12th, measures out at 238 yards. This one at least is slightly downhill. Areas of concern include that pot bunker short and left, and then the thicker stuff that comes into play if you knock it over the back. Okay, that one's dancing. A dead-on look here for birdie. Nicely done. 2 straight birdies here early on this backside. And he draws 3 shots clear on this Friday. The rolling hills of Oregon provide the backdrop to this par 5 13th hole. At 553 yards, it is reachable in 2. Big dunes in the fairway could make the stance awkward for that second shot, but a big green that measures better than 50 yards head to toe does yield a good number of eagle putts. Oh, do you believe it? Right off making birdie, this tee shot on the very next hole. Out of bounds. Yeah, much better there. No questioning whether this is inbounds. It is right there in the fairway. Just going to sneak on by. Okay, that one finished off. It is a bogey here at unlucky number 13. And that's going to tighten things up a little as the lead is down to 2. On a course with so many great vistas, this is visually a tough hole, this par 4 14th. Look out in the fairway and you'll see pot bunkers to contend with in your landing area. If you can stay left of the danger, you will have a better look into an elongated green. So not a whole lot left to go here as he'll set up his second for this par 4. Nah, nothing to it. Very well judged there. Now this for another birdie. That's how you play this 14th hole. That's in for birdie. And he's now the leader by 4 here on this Friday. On now to the final par 3 on the course, the 15th, listed at 206 yards. Don't be lulled to sleep by the sound of crashing waves and seagulls. This hole can bite you, especially if you don't avoid that front right bunker, the deepest on the course. Okay, just a little right of the flag on the front portion of this green and a birdie putt coming up. The putter on point late here in the round. Birdies at 14 and 15. And the lead swells to 6 here on this Friday. This is one of the signature holes here at Bandon Dunes, the par 4 16th. Some golfers play for the upper fairway, which gives you a bit of an angle to the green. Others, they stay down low, which is maybe a little safer. A third option is just to try and carry it over everything, but beware the pot bunkers and the gorse if you choose option C. And that one looked good for a while, but it's going to get gobbled up by that bunker. So this one going to have to carry a long way. And a big mistake in an otherwise sterling round, as that ball, I believe, is going to be declared OB. And I believe this ball, unfortunately, is going to be unplayable and out of bounds. Now this, an awkward distance for a bunker shot. Time to pick up and move on. A lot of these holes here at Bandon Dunes have big, wide landing areas. That is not the case here at the par 4 17th. You'll need to thread the needle here with bunkers on either side, thick rough on the left, and a canyon to the right. But a safe drive in the fairway can yield a pretty good look at your second. And that one a little wayward. It bounds off the fairway and right into the thick rough. This game not just about length, it's about putting the ball in the right position, and that's what he's done. Really a good opportunity to make a birdie. Let's see what he can do from 87 yards, second shot.
In golf, you know, you've heard the term mulligan. You'd love that, a do-over there, wouldn't you? I mean, that's just, that's very poor from that range.
Yeah, he had a pretty good run at that, but it won't go down. Still pretty good from there. No problems there. That's a par here at 17. And this will remain a 3-shot lead. On to the home hole to wrap up the round here at Bandon Dunes. And after battling to get here, isn't it nice to have a birdie hole to take you to the clubhouse? That's what we have with this 558-yard par 5. Simply avoid the bunkers off the tee, and you should have a good chance to reach this green in too. And that ball going to roll out a little too much as the momentum carries it all the way into the bunker. What a good shot that is. Home and 2 on the par 5. Remember, made eagle earlier in the round, Frank. Now maybe a chance for a second.
I know we can't call it a double eagle, but talk about aggression in these par 5s. Way to stand up there and just hit the shot.
Oh yeah, second eagle of the day. This one coming here at 18. So will this be the week that our featured golfer claims that first ever title? Frank, it's looking promising through 36 holes.
It is, and to just make that final leap to become a winner on the PGA Tour. Well, that's what's in front. It seems